Right, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel again for the umpteenth time today. And I'm really lucky and delighted to say I've been joined by the legendary Del Boy, the mad one from Dublin. He's in his bar, so yeah, thanks ever so much, Del Boy, for coming and having a chat with me today, mate.
What's the crack? What's the bleeding story, Warren? I've enjoyed your
Oh,
stream today,
mate,
mate. Fair play to
it's been an absolute roller coaster, mate.
you.
It really has. I tell you, man, I don't know. I don't know whether I'd want to do something like this again. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's tough going. Trust me, it is.
it
I
is.
know. I was looking at that other mad fucking Irish fella that had on your channel earlier on.
Which there's
Good.
two. There was the first one, Pat, and
Oh,
then
Pat, yeah. Jesus Christ, you have to get him on.
yeah, no, Pat was superb. I absolutely loved it. He's a
Yeah.
really good mate, and I've known him for donkey's years, mate. So
And look,
anyway,
I just want to, just before we even start, just I want to apologize to everyone for yesterday. I had a sort of a personal issue, nothing major or anything like that. But and I want to thank you, Warren, for actually, doing the show and stuff like that. Really, really do appreciate it. And even with today as well, I was just sort of all over the place and sorry for sort of messing things around. So I apologize for that. But look, onwards and upwards.
exactly, mate. Don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine, mate. I'm just happy that you're here and that you're all right. I have been worried about you, I have to say.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's all good. It's all good. It's no problems. It's
at the end of the day, your health and well-being is more important to me than this YouTube lark.
yeah, no, appreciate that, pal. Appreciate
No,
it.
not a
All
problem.
good. Looking forward to the game now.
Yeah, I am. I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah,
Um, so, Del Boy, do you want to just tell people quickly about where they can get in contact with you and about what you get up to and whatnot?
yeah. So basically, just my YouTube channel, as it says under me chin there, Del by Gunner TV. I lose the plot a lot, especially with fans. You know what I mean? They're my enemy now. The Arsenal fans, the fucking Egypts. You know what I mean? That I call them. That's who I'm out for these days. You know what I mean? Now,
Mm.
not the real ones, not the real ones, the realistic ones. Um, even like this morning and stuff like that, I was sending you a few links and just people that are like deluded. It's beyond the joke now at this stage. But look, we'll touch on that. But yeah, look. Del Boy Gunner TV, if you are interested in that, do the show every Friday with yourself, Jez, Warren occasionally, and Kenny Ken as well. Really, it's like to speak to people that are on the same page as you. It means a lot, especially when it comes to Arsenal. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well, and all that shite if you want to give out to me. Walk away. Doesn't bother me.
But Del Boy, do you want to tell everyone and you had a real stroke of luck there. Well, not luck, you deserved it, but the fella you had on your channel the other day when you was in London.
The superstar. I was only showing actually funny enough you say that. I was mates of mine that are Liverpool. I was just around in their house there. They had a problem with their power issue and stuff like that. So I was just sorting them out as well. Their power in their house went and all this sort of stuff. And one of the guys didn't know that I'd done a YouTube channel, and he goes, "Geez, how are you getting on with it?" And I says, "Well, I interviewed Liam Brady last week." He said, "Fuck off," and he's a young Liverpool supporter. I says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He goes, "Fucking hell!" So I think he's a new sub. So, but yeah, look, I bumped in to Liam Brady when I was doing an interview with Kenny Ken, and Kenny, as we all know, the guy just knows everything about Arsenal, everything about football. I don't need to preach that because I'm sure everyone knows it at this stage. But me and Kenny, when we seen Liam Brady walking down the road, we were just like two little teenage schoolgirls. Oh my god! And even in the video, you can see Kenny running around the place because Charlie George popped up then as well, and it was just madness. I was just like, I actually thought I was just dreaming. I was there. Is this real? Like this cannot be real, And to have my son Zach there as well by my side was just, I couldn't ask for a better day.
Mm. But no, it was wild, and that interview you did with Liam was superb, mate. It
Mm,
was
yeah,
it was fantastic.
he's such a nice, such a
Anyway,
good.
so we're here to talk about the FA Cup, right? And the first thing I want to ask you, Del Boy, is what's your first memory of the FA Cup?
Well, back in Ireland, like years ago, it was pretty hard to sort of get the live football. But I always I always found a way to get the final, view the final and stuff like that. And I suppose back in the early days, it would have been Chelsea, Middlesbrough, getting to the finals and stuff like that. And I remember Vialli winning the FA Cup. And I had like back then, I supported Arsenal, but I loved that Chelsea team. Vialli, Ruud Gullit, Zola, brilliant players. Di Matteo, like it was just brilliant. I remember watching them finals, and that for me, I think it was about 95, 96 in or around that. Really sort of brought it home. Obviously, then looking into the memories, the Charlie George, the famous goal, his famous celebration, it's what the FA Cup was like. And that's because um, this this year I was going mad on my own channel. Like I was really, because Arsenal disrespect the FA Cup, and against Nottingham Forest, it was just so annoying to me because I love the build up to the game. The whole atmosphere of it, watching the pictures of the stadium, the fans getting into the stadium. My auntie actually lives right beside Wembley. Now I haven't been over on match day, but she'd be always just sort of sitting outside and what, soaking up the atmosphere and stuff like that. And I keep threatening to go over for it. You know what I mean? But it'd be good to get over if Arsenal were in it. But yeah, I suppose my earliest, look, there was earlier memories obviously, but ones that stick out. I'm not just going to talk about Arsenal today. I'm going to talk about other teams, and the whole Chelsea team for me. I just enjoyed them because I remember the score. I think it was Di Matteo scored an absolute screamer from outside the box, and um, it was just unbelievable. And I remember that when that goal went in, he scored an absolutely screamer, and I was just thinking, wow, imagine what it would be like to score a quality goal in an FA Cup final. Not just like Arsenal, but just the whole feeling, the atmosphere, the stadium full, everything like that. Yeah, but looking back in the history books, my favourite moment would have been the Charlie George goal. It just for me, I just love that. The buzz of it, and have a soft spot for that team itself. And maybe I'm selfish because Liam Brady was in it as well, but there was a few absolute legends in that team.
Absolutely, mate. And so I asked this question to Kyle earlier as well, because I wanted to find out from him about what it was like in Ireland trying to watch the cup final. So how was it for you, mate?
Yeah, so for me, as it says, the reason why I'm saying the sort of everyone's probably there, why not the Arsenal? Because I didn't see them live up until especially the FA Cup. I didn't see them live up till after '95 sort of season because I moved up to Dublin then, and sort of cable television and all then was sort of big thing, and we were able to get the games. But when I was living in Roscommon, I had only two channels, and I couldn't get the finals. It was very hard because I suppose Ireland was in a sort of a bit of a recession back then as well. So getting cable TV would have been and I'm in the middle of nowhere, where I was from. So it would have been really, really hard to actually get cable TV. So that's why I'm saying, when I moved up to Dublin in '95, that sort of time, I was able to watch it live. I used to watch Match of the Day. I used to make my business and not to miss and not miss one Match of the Day for a whole season, and I've done that. And I used to be able to tell you who scored what goal and everything like that when I was a kid. And that's why the FA Cup, I remember, just real special to me. Not now. don't get me wrong, just because it was Chelsea, and Chelsea back then weren't like they were now, like, you know what I mean, bought everything and everything like that. Like the Ruud Hullet sort of, he done a great job with them, like, you know what I mean. And that's why I'm sort of it's my first sort of memory of watching it live. You know what I mean? Because watching it on repeat, the score, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like back in the day when Arsenal won the FA Cup, you knew the result because you were always looking out for it. You'd watch the news and stuff like that. But um, to watch it live is it's just outstanding. It's a completely different ball game. So that's why that stood out for me, and it was really hard. Like, before pre-95, couldn't watch any live games. Being honest with you, very rarely the odd few games here and there, and that's basically it. I don't know what Kyle would have said. Like, I'm sure because he's in a town, it probably would have been a bit easier for him. But I'm in the bog. It's called the mud. In the mud I was back then.
Bloody hell. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like, but I used to live in a little village here, and the last bus at night out of the village was at 7 o'clock in the evening, right? And if you didn't have a car, that was it. You'd have to stay indoors. You couldn't go anywhere. And there was one pub on the corner, and that was it. End of story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was crazy, but mate,
exactly, yeah. And that just what Craig is saying there, actually, that it's starting to ring a bell, like, with me now. I think for that, what he's talking about there, that's the what you call it, fucking Gascoigne was playing in that final or semi-final. Spurs. I think I was actually in my auntie's house watching that in Dublin. Funny enough, I remember watching it live, and I was just there at the time because it was the '91 season, and I was just like, we were losing, and I was just there to myself, it's okay because we've such a good team. We're going to come back and we're going to score. And I remember crying after the game, going, "Why is the game over? We lost." I couldn't understand it. That's the mentality. I'm just there. No, we are going to win. But
because the thing is, that season we didn't lose many games.
Yeah,
we only
exactly.
lost one in the league. Do you know what I mean? And then I don't know. I can't remember what happened in the League Cup, but there was only that game at Chelsea, and then this game against Spurs in the semi-final.
Yeah.
It was horrific. They
Who got did someone get sent off, or did Gaza get injured or something in that game? Was it?
No, Gaza got injured in the final.
In the final, that's what it was. Yeah. Sorry, I remember that now.
He did this absolute horror tackle. I think it was Gary Charles of Nottingham Forest.
That's right.
He was laying on the stretcher, and I don't know if he got sent off or the referee decided not to do it because he knew that he weren't coming on back on the pitch in any case. But I remember saying, well, it don't matter, you should have sent him off anyway. Do you know what I mean? But
deserved it.
Del Boy, so we talked about your earliest memory, and what about your favourite FA Cup moment?
Wow, I suppose I obviously have to pick an Arsenal one.
Not necessarily. It might be another one.
I suppose. Look, I'll mention two. One of my favourites was for Arsenal was the Newcastle one when we won 1-2-0 the '98 season. Overmars scored against Shay Given. I remember Shay Given was sort of at the time the up and coming Irish keeper, and I was always interested. I always keep an eye on the Irish players, and for us to be playing against him at the final, I was there. I wonder how's he gonna handle Arsenal at the time. Ian Wright, Bergkamp, Overmars, great team, absolutely brilliant team. So that's why I was there. It'll be interesting to see it, and I'll never ever forget the Overmars goal, and just the way he came in and just slotted it past him with ease. It just made it look easy. But it was a final that, and Anelka, obviously, it was just a final that it was comfortable for us. Like the build up to the game, the nerves on me, I was just so nervous. I was just like, oh, you know the way the BBC always big up the other team, big up Arsenal. You're just, oh my God, who's going to win? It's going to be tough. But deep down, I knew Arsenal should win this game. You know, I hated Shearer. I still do hate Shearer. And I was just, I don't want that fucking prick to get fucking, get the win. So once Overmars scored the goal, yeah, we're home and dry, and it was just enjoyable to watch. And obviously Arsenal win the FA Cup, and it was just brilliant. And I think that was Wenger's first FA Cup to win. So at the time as well, my grandmother, God rest her, she died in 2011. But she was a big Arsenal fan. She loved Arsene Wenger, and I remember sort of celebrating with her as well. So that was special for me as well. You know what I mean? To be able to, she's such a big Arsenal fan, she was, and just to celebrate it with her as well was special. So that's one that really sticks to my memories, and it'll never be erased until I'm pushing daisies up.
Exactly, mate. But listen, we're gonna have to finish in a couple of minutes because I've got to get the watch along started. But if there's one thing that you think could be done to try and get the FA Cup back to the status it had previously in years gone by, what would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't like. I just think they need to leave it as old school. I don't want to see fucking Sky anywhere near the fucking thing because these big TV stations, because they're just going to make it their own. They're already it should be a 3:00 kickoff. It's we're kicking off 4:45. Why? It's the history of the cup in 3:00 on a Saturday. This sort of stuff will ruin it going forward as well, because they'll get more and more and they'll keep going, and VAR and all this stuff. I just think they should try and, I don't know, structure. I love having the story of the smaller team, doing well in the competition and coming up. So not sort of stack the cards against them. Try and help them, the smaller clubs, because if they're playing an Arsenal in their home stadium, the money that they get from it is unbelievable. And also, I think we'll just say, for example, Swindon Town or something like that, or whatever, Forest Green or something like that, are playing in Chelsea's home ground. For the bigger clubs, to give them half the gate receipts, or something like that, to help them. You know what I mean? Help them build their club. Because it $1 million or £2 million goes a long way for these small teams, rather than Chelsea holding on to the money. I think if you're in the Premier League, you should half the gate tickets or something with these teams, because it's not fair really, and it will only help English football to grow more, and it'd be good for the competition as well, and gives the players that are playing a little bonus. If they win the game, to get an extra few quid in their wages, because these guys that are down in them leagues are only on minimum wage really. So it'd be good for them. I think putting it on these fucking Sky and BT Sports and all this, it's gonna run the cup down. I also think if you win the FA Cup, you should get into the Europa League or the Champions League or something like that, because the Champions League is the champion. You're the champion of the FA Cup. You deserve it, rather than, let's say, top four, have it in a cup. You know what I mean? That's what I think. And it will, the likes of Arsenal wouldn't have taken Nottingham Forest so fucking lightly. You'd say we have a chance there.
Exactly, mate. But listen, thank you so much, mate, for coming on and telling me all about your thoughts about the FA Cup, because for me, I absolutely love it, because I grew up with it, mate, and I just want to give you another opportunity to tell everyone about your channel and how they can get hold of you and stuff like that. So please, everyone, go and subscribe to Del Boy Gunner. Right, I put links for his channel in the description of the video. So please just click on the link, go and find his channel, because his channel is absolutely blinding, mate. I'm telling you, this guy, the stuff he does on his channel is superb. Honestly, it really is. I love it. It's one of my favourites on the whole YouTube. And it's not an exaggeration to say that. So do yourselves a favour and go and check his channel out. Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, because he has all sorts of fans coming on his channel. Everyone is welcome, no matter how mad or crazy their opinions are. But honestly, it is, and it's great watching. So, Del Boy, over to you, mate.
Yeah, no, look, I love having you on my channel, and you're always welcome at any time. I really do appreciate it, because the work that you do, like, really helps my channel. And, like, the Friday night streams, I just love hearing you, Jez, Kyle, and Kenny, and whoever else is on. Like, it's a breath of fresh air, being honest with you, because the whole week you just to be looking at stupid stuff and clowns talking absolute rubbish. With my channel, I'm thinking of one or two things of ideas I'm going to do to entertain people through the summer. It'll be done the Del Boy way, just put it that way. So yeah, I'd tune in, and I'd recommend it. I have a few things that annoy me, and I want to call these people out, and not just about football, but just in society. So I have a few things up my sleeve. Few things on my mind, and I'll probably be releasing them in a few weeks or whatever. Once I have it up and running and stuff like that. Well, yeah, stay tuned. And please, if you're not subscribed to Warren, get subscribed. The guy's a legend.
Thank you very much, Del Boy.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much for coming on. Okay, everyone, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to get the watch along started. So come over and join in with that. Once the game's finished, I'm going to do a phone in as well. So if you want to come on and have your say, you can do. You don't have to have your camera on. The only thing I ask is that you're respectful to people and their opinions, and that's it. So thanks ever so much to everyone in the chat, and massive thank you to Del Boy. He's not had an easy day today or yesterday, so big up for coming on to you, mate, because, yeah, I know you've not had an easy time of it. So thanks ever so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll chat to you later, buddy.
Cheers, pal. Thanks a million. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks a lot, Del Boy.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Bye.